Starts in Gauteng. Officials from the Gauteng Education Department are going to visit that school in Johannesburg where a fire destroyed 11 classrooms late yesterday. We're told that investigations are underway into the cause of the blaze. Newzroom Afrika's Lumka Bekindawo joins us now from there. Lumka, perhaps we kick off with the fact that this isn't the first incident of its kind.
Iman, earlier on we were speaking with the community members and the former learners of the school. They were telling us that this is not the first incident. It happened when they were still learners in this school in 2012, and they struggled for a very long time because their classrooms were destroyed. They did not even have books for. So the fire that happened here yesterday, it just reminded them of what happened in this school 13 years ago. But right now we are going to get a briefing from the Department of Education spokesperson, Mabona, who is going to speak to us. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Can you brief us about the investigations that have been done so far?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'm with the Regional Chief Director, Dade Dennis Makwakwa, for the Johannesburg. We are in the west of Johannesburg. In terms of the district, we are in the Johannesburg North. Yes, we can confirm that last night the fire erupted at the school just around 6 o'clock, where the entire block that is behind us has been shattered. And the fire might have started in one of the classes that was not utilized. So in this block, we have about 11 classes, and out of the 11, one was utilized as a block of toilets for boys. So, and 4 classes we were using for grade 8 learners, which is about 230 learners that will be affected by this fire. We will then have to provide mobile units. If we will have probably 4 mobile units for the school, so that when we start with the process of schooling, learners should be in those mobile units. But failing which, we will, in the interim basis, utilize the school wall. We are facilitating a process of making sure that there's enough furniture, because the furniture is also bent. And we will then be in a position to start with the process of teaching. It's quite sad that this occurred on the 27th of April, which is Freedom Day, and learners will then be impacted dearly. The suspicion is that there might have been people inside the school. We just not sure who will they be. The police really need to assist us to investigate. We just want to call upon members of the community to be our eyes and ears in all our schools, because during recess, our challenges is theft, and mostly our food for our children will then be targeted where schools are broken into, which is a challenge for us. So the members of the community need to work with us and make sure that if you see anything in and around our schools during this time, because it's recess, the police need to know that there's activity so that they can then attend to that. And it's quite sad, but we'll make sure that when children come back next week, they should be in a position of receiving curriculum, because we are probably in the beginning of term 2. There's a lot of work that we need to do. And soon we'll be working on assessments. So it's quite key that we're not going to be destabilized by any of these things that are happening. So we will then call for questions.
Thank you so much. I just have a question about when we were speaking with the parents earlier on. They were telling us that they do not think that their children are safe in the school. What are the measures that the department is going to make sure that when the children are coming back, they are safe?
Look, when coming to safety, you'll know that we have prioritized safety of our children in all our schools, more especially in the high-risk areas. There are areas where we classify them as high-risk, not that the schools are high-risk, but the areas where those schools are. And we're working very closely with the security cluster. Those schools are patrolled, and where we need to beef up and have security that we pay, we do that. But there are areas in this area of Johannesburg where we have, security, but that is not sustainable because it means then our budgetary constraints will not stop, because we will then have to divert, money from other, responsibilities and put it to security. So we need to work together with the community. The police have assured us that they will always assist us, but if we report, speedily, they should be in a position to us. And they've been being responsive in many of the occasions. And we just want to also thank the City of Johannesburg for their swift response in making sure that they extinguish this fire.
Lastly, are there any updates from forensic investigations?
Look, any such investigation will then belong to the emergency services. We'll give them an opportunity because they would have been, on the ground. But some members of the communities that were here, they did indicate that they've seen people in and around the school. So probably that will give them an indication on where to start in terms of their investigation.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Iman. That's Stephen Mabona, who is the spokesperson for the Department of Education here in Gauteng, briefing us about the latest update of this school, as we know that it was on fire yesterday. But we are hoping to speak to some of the residents in this area, but we will give you more update as the day goes by. For now, back to you in studio, Iman.
Lumka, before we let you go, we can see the remains, or the shell really, of those classrooms behind you. Is it possible to take us a little closer just to look at the extent of the damage there? As you say, not the first time this has happened. 13 years ago, they had a similar incident, and the damage has been absolutely extensive. One wonders, again, as Steve has said, they will be providing those mobile units, and they will also be using the school hall. Perhaps then in a later crossing, we'll be able to just get a close-up view of the damage and destruction that's been left behind. Lumka Bekindawo and our team there in Riverlea